Friends and neighbors sometimes encourage us to consider careers in music, but it's always wise to check their judgment. Ken Anderson knew this. That's why he stopped in the middle of a music lesson to ask me,
Well, Mr. Zabel, I've been thinking about what part music would play in my life. Should I try for it? Should I go after a concert career?
is that what you want?
Well, sure. Music is, well, it's what I want. Nothing else counts as much as music.
I think I understand, Ken. There are others who feel as you do, too.
Well, then, should I try to become a concert artist?
Well, I really don't think I should answer that question for you, Ken. But perhaps I can help you find the answer for yourself. Let's begin with a less difficult question. Where can you find out more about the various careers in music? There are many, you know.
Are you trying to tell me that I'm not good enough for a concert career?
On the contrary, you play very well, Ken. Few years hard work, very hard work, and you might become a performer of professional caliber. Still, you might be happier in some other field of music. You see what I mean? Let's take it from the cantabile. Ken's question about a career in music started me thinking. And instead of listening, I was remembering other students and their answers. Mary Winters wasn't a great artist, but she has set out on a concert career, and she could surprise everybody and hit the top. There have been many like Jimmy Hallquist, who have learned to play well enough for their own pleasure, but they regard themselves, and rightly, as musical amateurs. And there have been many in my classes who have found musical performance just too much. Howard Parnell could never really learn to play an instrument. But he did learn to listen to music, and the enjoyment of music became an important part of his life. Now, Ken was facing the question.
You know, Mr. Zabel, about what part music would play in my life, maybe I'd better have a talk with Mr. Wilkinson.
Your guidance counselor?
Uh-huh.
It's a good idea. He'll be able to tell you more about music as a vocation, and more about yourself, too.
Well, I'll see him after school today, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Ken, along with other students, took a series of musical aptitude tests given by the guidance counselor.
This part of the test is concerned with pitch discrimination. You'll hear a series of 3 notes. You're to write down which of the notes is lowest in pitch. All right, here we go.
Problem number 1. Number 2. Number 3.
Of course, such tests need careful interpretation by someone skilled in testing and guidance. Mr. Wilkinson told Ken that his test clearly indicated musical ability, that he might well consider music as a vocation. Mr. Wilkinson suggested that Ken go to the library to find out more about opportunities and requirements in various careers in music. As he read, Ken began to learn something about himself, about how well suited he was to the career he had in mind. Looking beyond the printed page, he could picture himself. Would he like the long hours of practice to prepare himself for a career? Not just at first, but indefinitely, as long as he continued performing in public. Could he perform for the critics? Could he stand the pressure of having to play for their demanding ears? And if the critics approved, would he then enjoy the endless touring, living in Pullmans and hotels, traveling from city to city between concerts? As he read, Ken learned that most musical careers are difficult and competitive. He learned more when he interviewed professional musicians.
Sure, I studied like anybody else. You gotta know music in this business, both popular and classical. And then there's this job and that with small combos, knocking around, one-night stands. Pretty tough, son. I'll make it someday, though. Start my own band, develop a new style, and I'll be in. Maybe.
Big symphonies usually have training orchestras you can get into. Already in music school, I was in one. And I had a union card. That you have to have in most orchestras. Well, whenever there was a vacancy in the symphony, they would send you out to audition. So we would go and audition. Very good, they would say. And then they would hire somebody else. Well, finally, they hired me down here. It isn't a major orchestra, this one. I have to take pupils mornings to help out. But then there are still the big symphonies. I can still go audition.
Well, as you know, I've been dead set on composing for a long time. I have composed, as far as that goes, but will anybody perform my works? Of course, I make a good living, writing special arrangements for popular orchestras and scoring radio shows and TV dramas. But I'm not composing. I'm not doing what I really want to do. Do you understand?
Well, I'm working my way up. Of course, I had to get some engineering background as well as music. Then I signed on in a small town station. After a while, I moved over here as music librarian. Now I'm on the turntables. I make up the list for a couple of shows a week. Music director, that's me. Someday.
Yes, Ken learned about many careers in music, and careers that combine music with other abilities, with mechanical skill, with sales ability. Ken learned much from looking into such vocations. After his reading and investigation, Ken came to see me about another important career that had been very much on his mind.
I wonder if you tell me something about teaching.
You know, I was worried that you wouldn't ask me about that. Yes, music teaching has turned out to be a very satisfying career as far as I'm concerned. Very satisfying. You see, a music teacher has to have a special kind of training. He needs to know how to inspire other people to enjoy music. And when you have some success in inspiring others, you just naturally feel inspired yourself.
I think I understand. Thanks a lot.
Yes, teaching was another career that Ken investigated further in finding how his abilities and interests measured up, finding his own answer to the question, what part shall music play in my life? You know, each of us has some aptitude for music. Whether it's performing, or teaching, or just listening. And each of us can have a richer life by finding in it a definite place for music.